snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, I am here today to do a video that was inspired by Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book. I saw him do this same video and I really wanted to show you guys my interpretation of it. I will go ahead and link his channel down below. All of you guys should go and check out his channel because he is wonderful and I love chatting to him about books. The video that I'm going to steal off of Michael is the 15 books that I want to read in 2015. He is doing various different categories, so he's doing fantasy and science fiction and all sorts of different genres. I tend to largely read fantasy, not much sci-fi comes into my year. I do read a bit here and there, but it doesn't make up enough for me to get 15 books that I want to read in that genre. So I'm just going to tell you guys 15 books that I want to get to in the year of 2015. You guys can let me know if you've read any of them, if you want to see me read them, and I would love to hear all of your thoughts or recommendations if there's any that I don't mention that you want to see me read. So let me know all of that down below. So the first book that I really want to get to, and in fact it is the start of a series, is Gardens of the Moon, which is the first one in the Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. Now, this book and this series is actually one of Michael's favourite series, and he has been recommending it for a very long time to me, along with many other people. I am determined to start it in 2015. I'm going to be reading it alongside my boyfriend and hopefully also Brock if he feels up to it from Let's Read, so we will see. But hopefully that will be happening in January or February. I will let you guys know in my TBR for whatever month. But I really want to start that series next year because I've almost finished up Wheel of Time. I'm on book 8, soon to be on book 9, and I'm whizzing through that at the moment. So I want another big epic series to fill in that little space. I believe that this is a series that was started when Esselmont and Erikson both wanted to create a role-play game, and they created this world to play that game within. And then they went on to write books based in the same world. So there are actually 10 books in Erikson's series and I think a couple of books by Esselmont. And they do interlink, the worlds crossover because they are set in the same world. So you really need to read a bit of Esselmont in between the Erikson books to fully understand it. I'm going to ask Michael for help on that. He's going to be my guide with that series. So hopefully I will read them all in the right order and understand everything. But I'm very much excited for that one and I cannot wait to give it a try and see what it's all about because a lot of people love it, so I want to be one of those people. The next book I have on my list is Seraphina, which is by Rachel Hartman. This is a book that I've had on my shelf for a very long time back at home, and I really just want to get to it in 2014 because I've heard a lot of people really enjoy it, and I know that the sequel is due to come out next year. That would be really good to read that and then go on to the sequel. I'm not sure exactly when that comes out. If I find out, I will write it on the screen for you guys, but I'm really excited by this. I know it's about dragons. There's a dragon on the front cover, I believe. It just sounds like a really fun book and so many people have said it's great. I don't know if it's YA or adult, but it just looks really fun and I've heard so much good about this book that it makes me excited, it makes me want to read it, and I don't know why I didn't get to it this year, but I just didn't, so hopefully next year that's going to happen. Another series that many of you guys have recommended to me is A Discovery of Witches, which is by Deborah Harkness. This, I believe, is a trilogy, and I think the last book recently came out earlier this year. So I now have no excuse not to read this because I do actually own the first 2 in this series already. I really want to give them a try. So many people have been raving about this series. They're quite long books, which is always a good thing in my mind. I love a good long book to sink into, and I'm just very excited by this because I don't read very much that is based around witches, but I believe this one is because otherwise it wouldn't make sense, the title. I think it'll be a really fun series and I want to find out why everyone loves it so much because they all seem to. Next, I really want to read a bit more Neil Gaiman next year. I've heard that American Gods is a very good Gaiman book and I do have it. I also have a couple of other ones on my Kindle by him as well, so I may have a sort of Gaiman month, I'm not sure, because I haven't read anything by him for quite a while, and I do really enjoy his writing style and the way that he puts the story together because I think he's very approachable and readable for everyone, and that's always a good thing. So I want to read some of his adult works because I've mostly read his kids' work up until now, excluding The Ocean at the End of the Lane, but I think that's a little bit different to his other books, I'm not sure. So I want to read some of his adult works and see what they are all about. I would love to get to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is by Susanna Clarke. This book is one that I really don't know enough about to justify putting it in here, but I do own it, and so many people have said it's wonderful, and it's a huge book with tiny writing, and it just sounds good. I honestly have no idea what this book is about, so if any of you guys know, then let me know, because I have no idea. But so many people have told me I need to read it whenever I've gone shopping with friends for books. They've always recommended it to me, and people that I know have always said that it's a great read. Obviously it's one that I'm missing out on and that I need to get to. Also, I just really like the cover. It's very simple and easy and plain, and it just looks sophisticated. It kind of reminds me of a classic. It has that feel about it. The title itself is great, so hopefully the book will follow suit. Next, I have Mage's Blood, which is by David Hare. This is a book that I bought, I think, a couple of months ago for my birthday, or with my birthday money. I've heard people on BookTube have said this is a good series, a good fantasy series. I really don't know, again, what this is about. I should have done more research before doing this video, to be honest, but I'm very excited by this one. I love the cover. I think it's very beautiful, the tones that it uses, and I love the sort of rustiness to it, so hopefully this has got some sort of big battles and sounds like it's going to be cool. It's all about mages, so I'm hoping there's magic. Mage's Blood, battles, magic. I think that's what the title means. Hopefully I will love it and really enjoy it. I know quite a few people who've read it and recommended it, so again, that's one I'm just throwing in, not knowing much about and hoping it's going to be fun. Next, I want to read the Earthly Quartet, which is by Ursula Le Guin. I've heard a lot of good things about Ursula Le Guin. I know she's a very prolific fantasy writer and a lot of people absolutely adore her work. I've had a few people who have said that I need to read this book many times. I know I put it into my TBR a couple of times in this year and I just didn't get around to it. Next year is definitely the year to get to it. I think it's going to be fun. It's got dragons and things on the cover, so I'm hoping there'll be fantasy dragons and all sorts going on. I know that Ursula Le Guin is a really famous writer, so I want to read something by her because I've never read anything by her. So hopefully I will get to it and I will love it and I will read more by her in the future, I don't know. Next I have Isabelle by Guy Gavron Kay. Now I remember Brandon Sanderson talking in an interview about how much he enjoyed Guy Gavron Kay's work, and I do actually own Isabelle by Gavron Kay. And I want to read it because if Sanderson recommends an author, I'm obviously going to go and pick it up. I cannot wait to see why he loves it. I love Sanderson. If Sanderson likes a person and their writing, I want to know who it is and why he likes them. And I've heard lots of good things about Guy Gavron Kay in his own right as well from other sources, so I'm hoping I will enjoy this book and probably pick up more by him because I know he's got quite a lot of different works out. I love the covers for his works. They've been doing a series of various different ones that all kind of are similar in tones and style, and I think they are stunning, so I'm hoping I will really love them and I will be able to collect the whole collection and be able to add Gavron Kay onto my list of favourite authors. Who knows, any of these authors could be one of my new favourites. Next, I want to read a good old classic, and that is The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. I, again, have not read much Terry Brooks. I think I read a short novella by him, and I enjoyed that a lot, and my friend really loves his work. I do think it is more traditional in fantasy. I think there are quite a lot of different books in the Shannara series, and that the series has been going for quite a while. So I'm very intrigued to get started on it and see what is going on and if I really like his writing. I did enjoy his writing in the novella that I read a while back, so I see no reason why I wouldn't love it, but you never know. Hopefully this will happen sometime next year. Next, I really want to read The Way of Shadows, which is by Brent Weeks. I've not read any Weeks yet. I've heard good and bad things about him. I've heard that a lot of people don't like The Way of Shadows and they don't like the whole of that series, but his latest series, which a lot of people are very highly praising and saying it's amazing, so I want to know what I think of him. I know some people who love him, some people who hate him. Sounds like it's a kind of love-hate relationship, and I want to decide which side of that I am on, so I need to read something by him in order to do that, and The Way of Shadows is the book by him that I currently own, so I need to get to this. All of these books, by the way, I do already own them. They are all on my TBR, and they are all books that I want to get to so that I can get them off of my TBR and start buying new books. You'll probably have noticed I've not been buying books recently because I've got too many. Not because I'm on a book buying ban, I just haven't had much money recently and I didn't need them because I've got so many other books that I am in love with and really enjoying at the moment that I didn't need to go out and buy new ones, so just a little ramble. Another series that I really want to get to, and one also that Michael has recommended to me, is the Ketty J series by Chris Wooding, which begins with Retribution Falls. I picked this book up a while back because the cover of this book and this series is stunning. I absolutely love, 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 love the cover of this. I think it's utterly gorgeous, and I've heard very good things about the Ketty J series generally. I know a lot of people are very much attached to the characters from this and they enjoy the series, so I want to figure out what it's all about myself. I believe it's about like space pirates or airships and pirates, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be an enjoyable read. I'm very excited for them and I want to know what the story's all about and get on board with this one because I know a lot of people highly love this series. Another one that I really, really want to get to in the year of 2015 is The Clan of the Cave Bear, which is by Jean M. Auel. I've not read anything by Jean M. Auel, but I am really intrigued because I know that the writing is based around Ice Age times and it's a fantasy set in Ice Age era, which is really cool because that's something I've not read and something I don't know much about, so I think it's going to be a very, very, very cool series. And I know a lot of people when I was younger were reading this series and very much enjoying it. I didn't get to it when it was popular, but now I do have the first 2 books back at home for that series and I do want to get to it and see what it is all about because the covers are stunning. The illustration really reminds me of cavemen and just nomadic tribes and things like that, which is really cool, and it's something I just don't know much about, so I want to learn about it, and what better way to learn about a period of history than through a fantasy book that you're going to love and have a great story and time reading. So yeah, that's something I really want to find out more about. The next series that I want to read is actually a kids fantasy series, and that is the Bartimaeus series by Jonathan Stroud, which starts with The Amulet of Samarkand. I have this book and I think I have the first 3 maybe in this series back at home. I read The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud a while ago and I very, very much enjoyed it. I thought it was a great story. I got an ARC copy and I really want to continue on with that series. But this series is his more famous one and it's one that a lot of people praise, and I know that it's meant to be very, very enjoyable. I really enjoyed his writing style. I thought it was very approachable, very readable, very accessible to all, and I want to find out more about him and read more from him. I definitely want to explore more of my horizons with him and see what else is out there by him. And the final series that I want to get to in 2015, if I have time, is the Eragon series. This again is another kids series and it's about dragons, as you can probably guess. I've never read this series. I know it was hugely, hugely popular when I was a kid, and a lot of the people in my class back at school and high school were reading this series when it was coming out, but I just missed the boat on that one and I didn't pick it up at the time. So now I want to go back and I want to read them because I recently purchased the very beautiful, massive hardbacks of this series and I want to justify that by actually having read them. So hopefully I will get to that at some point in the next year as well, and I will be able to say that I've read it and enjoyed it, and that will be the justification for owning the beautiful hardbacks. So that is a crazy amount of series. I don't know how many books, if I read all of those series, it would be. Probably a lot, because I'm sure a lot of them have multiple books in the series. However, I am really interested in all of the authors, all of those series, and all of the books. I want to know more about them all. I don't know that much about any of them, so feel free to leave in the comments all of your thoughts about all of the series I've talked about. I would absolutely love to know which ones you would like to see me read, which ones you would recommend or not recommend, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat about the